Years ago, when I was in my, actually early 20s, approaching my mid-20s, on the nightly news, usually Walter Cronkite or Huntley Brinkley, there would be reports about how many Americans had died in a given week in Vietnam. And the numbers slowly inched up. 40 Americans killed last week. 80 Americans killed last week. And when it hit 100 Americans killed last week, the anti-war movement in this country expanded exponentially. 100 Americans dead, killed in a week. 100 Americans were killed this weekend in the United States. More than 100 from gunfire. More than 100 Americans this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday, were gunned down, murdered in the United States. It's impossible. I mean, how can that be? And the horror is that the Christian fascists, the whites, are doing the killing. Oh, there may be some random gunfire between gangs that are either white or Latino or black or Asian, but the majority of the killing is being done by white people. Again, always. It's becoming more and more difficult to even try to comprehend this. For me, I'm assuming it is for you too. It's just beyond belief. 10 people murdered while they were grocery shopping? I do the grocery shopping in this family, and I probably go to a Publix 2 or 3 times a week. And I think to myself, what happens when I'm in the produce section or walking down the aisle where I'm going to buy bathroom tissue or napkins, and all of a sudden I hear it, pow, 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 pow. It's just unbelievable. And then the church, the Asian Presbyterian Church in Southern California, in was it Orange County? Pow, pow, pow. And at nightclubs and at a flea market. I mean, there's no place left, is there? So what do you do? I mean, seriously, what do you do? Do you arm yourself? That can't be that can't be the solution. It just can't. Can it? We have Christians, and they are. I don't care if this offends you. And when I write about them, I use small c. These are not followers of the rabbi from Nazareth. These are Christian savages. They're like evil things that have been cast up out of their own particular belief in hell. But they're all over in the House and the Senate, in media. And they are promoting violence and hatred and contempt and distrust. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? And they take the words from the rabbi, Jesus of Nazareth, and twist them into demonic sentences and filth-encrusted words to try to justify what they're doing. What are we going to do? That's where this is coming from. That's where this Jews will not replace us. You will not replace us. Nobody is fucking trying to replace the white race. The white race is going eventually to exterminate itself if they don't stop. My God. These are not non-whites, and don't misunderstand this, that are killing each other in Ukraine. We're not non-whites who killed each other during World War II and World War I. I think about this, I really do, and how this insane fucking replacement conspiracy theory perpetrated and promulgated by white Christians. Do you hear me? People like Representative Scott Perry, this fascist Christian from Pennsylvania, and what's her name, Stefanik, who is now number 3 in the Christian fascist hierarchy in the House. And it goes on and on. And then you have the white supremacist killers on Fox Sewer and Onan News and all these sick, goddamn, vomitous media outlets. J.D. Vance, who won the Republican primary in Ohio to be a senator. It's just hard for me to try to understand this. I mean, I understand racism. I grew up in a racist country. A country where racism is embedded in everything. But this killing, shooting people in a parking lot, in a grocery store, live streaming it, and they claim to be defending the country from an invasion. Of what? And Donald Trump and all of these Christian bastards, these evil demons who keep pushing this idea into the addled minds of these weak son of a bitches. The Great Replacement. Oh my God. And Tucker Carlson, who is pushing this theory and pushing it and pushing it. He's another one I would just love to be in a room with a baseball bat. Replacement theory. And Matt Gaetz and the Q bitch from here in Georgia. I mean, just on and on. These people are demonic and they're out to destroy the country. How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our Constitution? How do we protect our neighbors, people of color? White people, too. What do we do? Less than 48 hours after that shooting, the mass killing in Buffalo, Liz Cheney minced no words in her assessment of where the blame lies. This is what she tweeted this morning, quote, "The House GOP leadership has enabled white nationalism, white supremacy, and anti-Semitism. History has taught us that what begins with words ends far worse. GOP leaders must renounce and reject these views and those who hold them." End quote. Pretty damning statement from a Republican. But Liz Cheney knows, as I know and you know, that these white Christian demons are not going to renounce anything. You know that. It has to be silenced, and there are many ways to do that. I think about the country of Germany, how they silenced for a time the the Nazi demonology espoused by Hitler and absorbed by so many people in Germany in the 20s and 30s, to the point where 50 million people globally died. 6 or 7 million methodically executed in ovens and gas chambers. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable what goes on in this country. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.